from Verde Plant Design. Follow along as I show you how to make your very own kokedama. Open up your Kokedama Kit and what do you find? We have peat moss, akadama soil, twine and thread, and sheet moss. With that, you will also need a large tub or bowl for mixing, 1.5 cups plus a couple splashes of water, scissors, and a plant. I've chosen to use an asparagus fern, but you can use a snake plant, a pothos, or any kind of drought-tolerant plant of your choice. So, let's begin with step 1, preparing your plant for its new home. You really want to make sure that you are gentle with your plants because this is already a really stressful process for the roots. So don't pull if it doesn't want to be, if it's not coming easily, don't rip apart the roots. You'll want to start by gently massaging the pot and the soil. So this just helps loosen the roots from the plastic pot that it's in. And then if it feels loose, which it doesn't yet, you'll pull it out. So just massage it a little bit more, and then pull it out. So now that I have my root ball exposed, you want to try to get rid of as much of the soil as possible without disturbing the roots too much. So there's a lot of extra topsoil here, so just remove all of the loose topsoil and then gently but firmly, kind of shake out all that excess soil. So I'm left with more of my root ball exposed, and I haven't pulled apart the roots too much, but I have gotten rid of a lot of excess soil. So I'm just going to go ahead and set that down beside me and get rid of all of the excess soil in my bucket. Now, step 2. Using your container or bowl, you're going to want to mix together your mixture. So you're going to take the peat moss, and it's been pre-measured for you, so you're going to use everything in the bag. And then you're going to put in your akadama. And then 1.5 cups of water. So this is 375 mils. I recommend using a measuring cup. I know that this is 1.5 cups. And then make sure you scratch your head or roll up your sleeves beforehand because your hands are about to get dirty. This is the best part. So just go ahead and mix it like you're making a loaf of bread or some cookies. And you want to evenly mix all of those ingredients. It smells like a walk in the forest. Now, if your peat moss is exceptionally dry, then you may need to add a splash more of water, and the consistency that you're looking for. If you can squeeze it, you want to see a little bit of water drip out, but you don't want it to be oozing. Mine is a little bit too dry, so I'm going to take my water and just do a splash more. Then mix that around and see if that helps bind it a little bit better. And now I'm going to start forming a ball. You only want to use 85% of the mixture. The 15% you're going to set aside and you're going to use later on just to fill in any gaps if need be. So to make your ball, I recommend taking a little bit at a time and just squeezing gently but firmly, and then add a little bit more and keep going until your ball is about the size of a grapefruit. And you just have to keep working it in. Kind of use it as a stress reliever. You had a hard day at work, your kids are bothering you. Just get all that frustration out. If you squeeze too firmly, your ball will fall apart. If you don't squeeze hard enough, you're going to find that it's not coming together. If you really find that it's not coming together, then you may want to add a little bit more water, as you can squeeze out the excess, but you don't want it to be sopping, so do go sparingly. And I'm almost there. Just a little bit more. Now once you have your ball and you feel that it is large enough and secure enough, now you have to do this next step. If you don't do this next step, you can't keep going, because otherwise you won't know if your ball is going to stay together. So you want to toss it up in the air and catch it. If you drop it, well, that doesn't show how your ball was made, it just shows your catching skill. So holding your ball in the center with your two thumbs here, you'll want to use your thumbs and gently split it apart. It does come apart pretty easily, and then you can set one half down. Now, just in order to balance your plant on this ball, we're gonna make a little groove. So pick which way you want the top to be, and just remove a couple, like 2 thumbs width of soil, and then 2/3 down. So just a little groove, and this is going to be easier to rest your roots in. Be really gentle here, just kind of go slow. If you try to take too much out at a time, you might break your ball. So I have a bit of a groove here, and that will just help to balance my roots. And then I'm going to take my plant, and I always find that using your middle finger and your pointer finger to rest your plant on kind of helps to get a better hold of things. So I'm going to put my root ball on top there and balance it, and then take the other half of your ball and just set it on top. So you're making a bit of a sandwich here. And then you'll want to take your thread and, using your thumb, hold your thread down on one end and then start wrapping. So this doesn't look like much, but using the thread will help to keep it together. And then after you've wrapped it a couple times, it will hold itself together a little bit better, and then you can use all of your extra mixture to fill in those gaps and cover the roots. So now that the thread is really helping it hold together, I'm going to take my extra mixture and just fill in those gaps. Now, the smaller your root ball is, the easier it is to do this, because usually it will fit between the balls. This one had a pretty large root ball, so that's why there are more gaps in mine. So I'm just squeezing in that extra mixture gently but firmly. And when I feel that all of the roots are in, I'm just going to keep wrapping it a few more times, just so all of that dirt is secured. And if you have a couple roots exposed, that's totally okay, but do try to get them all covered. And make sure that you're wherever your plant is and that you're not wrapping it down with your thread. Now, there's no need to tie off your thread. Just cut it and press it into your ball, because you'll be adding some extra stuff on top of this to keep it together. How beautiful is that? Now it's sheet moss time. So if you just left it like this, then as soon as you watered it, it would disintegrate. So that's why we have sheet moss. So taking your piece of sheet moss, you may not need it all, you're going to just gently place your kokedama on it and press the sheet moss in. Now, a couple important things. You don't want to cover your plant, so no doing this. If your sheet moss comes too high, then you can just rip it or cut it to the size that you need. You want to make sure that you don't have any gaps on the bottom or on the sides, but if you have a little bit of soil showing at the top, that's completely okay. So just make sure you're squeezing your sheet moss into your ball, and that will help it adhere. Oh, it smells so good, like springtime. Now, we need to make sure that this is secured, so you're going to take your twine next and really important to wrap this tightly around. But what we're gonna start with is you're gonna go around the circumference of the ball and just tie one knot. Doesn't have to be any fancy knot, just a regular old knot. Now with the twine, you will want to go ahead and wrap around the whole ball, making sure that you don't tie down your plant. You can do a pattern if you want to, but in this instance, I'm just gonna wrap it randomly. When you wrap it, make sure that the moss is kind of being pinched down. So you see, you can't even see the twine anymore. So it's going on pretty tight. If you wrap it too loose, then when you water it, it's all gonna loosen and your ball may fall apart. So make sure you're getting the sides, the bottom, the top. Feels really snug. If you are wanting to hang your kokedama, then it's really important that you leave a few feet of twine left so that you can hang it. So I'm going to wrap a few more times and then I will show you how to hang it. So now that it feels secure and the whole ball has been covered, there's no spot without twine besides the plant, I'm going to go ahead and cut the twine. And it's really important to tie it off. So if you can find your starting point, that's a really great place to tie it off. If you can't, then I would try to get it underneath the existing twine and then tie it in a knot. You shouldn't really be able to get your finger under there, so that's going to be a little bit tricky, but it is possible. If you can get your finger underneath your thread really easily, like it's coming up, then it's not tight, wrapped tight enough, and you will want to rewrap it because otherwise you may have some problems down the line. Maybe double or triple knot it just in case. And then snip those ends. And ta-da! We have ourselves a kokedama ball. Now, you can leave it just like this. If you have a piece of driftwood, that's a really beautiful way to display it. Or you can hang it. So you can hang it upside down if you want, sideways, straight up, whatever you want. When you're hanging it, you want to find a point that has like 2 to 3, 4 crisscrossing, intersecting lines of twine, not just one, just for even weight distribution. Then you're going to take your twine and find a point that is above the midline and thread it through a couple points on your ball. Then make a knot, maybe 2 knots just so it doesn't fall. And then decide how tall you want it. And find another point on the other side. And ta-da! You have yourself a hanging kokedama. So you can hang it in an indirect but bright spot. The lighting does depend on the plant that you chose. So most tropicals will like indirect light and most succulents will like direct in the window sun. And then as for water, it is quite wet right now. You can feel that it's softer, it's heavier. When they need water, they will feel lighter and harder. So maybe check it in 5 to 7 days. And when you water, you're going to take a bowl of water and just submerge half of it in that water and leave it for 20 to 30 minutes. And because it's so porous, it will soak up all the water that it needs. And then it will be good. So usually water every 7 to 10 days, but that initial watering might come a little bit sooner as the plant is a little bit more stressed out. So thank you so much for joining us, and please tag us on Instagram as we would love to see your creations.